I imagine soon we'll put a work group together. Should have already had work groups together to address fatigue. You guys are working yourselves to death, literally, and we have to be aware of that and address fatigue. But implementing schedules or imposing schedules on us affects our leave, it affects our bottom line, it affects how we schedule our lives, and it's not something that we can stand for.
So CIC is using that as a point to increase through your band. Instead of it just being a 10%, it's a 3% increase to your base, and you move up through your band faster.
This contract precedes the last one, and it made it better. The next contract that we have has to make it better. That's what NACA stands for. That's what NACA does. So absolutely, we have to look at adjusting those bands. If you get accounted for properly, Adam, I think a pay raise would be in line, right? You would go and be a Bravo airspace, and almost immediately your ATC level would jump from that.
We absolutely can't stand for our members to ever be forced into a situation like that, no matter what the circumstance. Well, also, we have to keep in mind how we got there and why we have a president that signed an MOU, and then we're still seeing it being forced, because members make different decisions when you have information, and you can make a well-informed decision and understand, oh, okay, this is what it's about. And that's Jamal and I's, education. Our level 5 up downs are the worst staffed in the system currently.
That the reason we chose to run as a team is not because we're buddies. It's because we think we could be very effective together. If the president of the union trusts you to go and speak on behalf of this union, and you know yourself that you could do that well, we can divide and conquer in that standpoint. We can get to more places. We can be more effective and serve you better if we stick together.
I do not believe that Mick possesses the leadership and the talent to be an executive vice president. I do not believe he possesses the leadership to negotiate.
Right, they gave us a charge to stand up and collaborate with the agency and address some mental health issues that needed to take place. And to my understanding, that sits in the hands of our current leadership. What have they done? Has the work group stood up? Have they met? Do they do anything? Do you know? You're asking us, and we don't know either.
It isn't about awareness anymore. This is now about prevention. Awareness is a term of the past. We know it's here. There are, like you said, there are reports. Just like everything from the NTI and watching it get abused or bastardized from its original intent is when you don't have a leader in the position of president and executive vice president out there speaking about it on the regular.
There's too many people that have been ostracized and felt like they don't matter. And why that matters to us is eventually apathy sets in. Most of the people start in the 4 through 7. If you're not engaging and investing in those people, your union's going to get weaker. We've had 5 years. Anyone that's 5 years or newer in this agency hasn't seen this union operating at its full capacity.
And as I said earlier, Jamal and I are committed. In our first term, one of us will step in all 313 FAA facilities. That is an absolute something we will strive for. And having our RVPs start a level of expectation. But will we take the fight? Absolutely. Jamal is the only person out of all the candidates that has ever negotiated a CBA. He knows what it takes. He knows that what we're going to have to bring in advance of it, not just make-believe work groups that are out there exploring things that have never really met. And yes, we will take the fight, especially if executive orders go into effect. You just change your tactic and negotiate via midterm bargaining instead of term bargaining. And yes, we've done that for pay many times over. They're preying on you being uneducated. They're actually betting on you not realizing that there are other ways to go out there and engage it because they're scared to tell you and educate you. That's the difference between these candidates. It's about being willing to be open, honest, and transparent with the path instead of just trying to go out and divide a union to get a vote.